For violence, Arkansas Attorney General Leslie joins me here this morning. You do so much for domestic violence, and we all know Laura Webb's story. If not, we'll kind of remind you about it. And you have something now called Laura's Card. Let's just talk about that and how it came to be.
Sure. In 2015, as a result of Laura Webb's courageous story, talking to legislature about what can be done more to help victims of domestic violence, the legislature passed a law requiring that law enforcement agencies, when they are approached by victims of domestic violence, that they hand them this card. Laura's Card has information on it, and you can see it on the screen right now, where they can get information on hotlines, local services, contact information of shelters. That's the sort of information that victims need to know that there is a better way, that hope is out there.
Now, Leslie, I remember, maybe was it last year, you reached out to a lot of people here locally at the women's shelter, and you invited me, my mom, and a lot of people that kind of run that station. You brought us all in, and you asked us, you know, what can you do to help? I mean, why have you been so invested in domestic violence?
Because one victim, as you well know, you and your mother well know, one victim is too many. And we must get the word out that there is a better way, that they don't have to live in that life, that there are other people out there. And so that's what Laura's Card is about. That's why we have distributed over 33,000 Laura's Cards across the state. We have it in both English as well as Spanish, because we have a very high Spanish population in Arkansas. We have nearly 200,000 Spanish-speaking Arkansans. So we want to make sure that everyone across the state has the resources they need to get out of that situation, to give their children a better opportunity.
Now, I know, you know, I'm really involved with the shelter, and, you know, I go up there quite frequently. A little concern is going around, especially with some of the federal grants being cut here or there. One specifically, the Violence Against Women Act, which pretty much directly funds women's shelters here in Arkansas. A lot of people are really nervous because if they lose that funding, then there goes a place for these people to go to. How do we prevent something like this from happening here in Arkansas?
Well, funding is always a critical issue of any of these shelters, because you have people with big hearts, but they need more resources. So I encourage people, and we have many people here in Central Arkansas, but across the state, that have big hearts. In addition to getting federal funding and state funding, also let's open up those pocketbooks. Let's see where we can help. And so I encourage people to see what they can do, to write a check, to go volunteer time, to provide resources to their local shelter, because they, quite frankly, can't get enough help.
And we need that help. And she's not just talking. I mean, she's been in those shelters firsthand, on the ground floor, making sure that all this happens. Thank you so much for everything you do, Ms. Rutledge. And you're just a nice little sweetheart. Thanks for coming here. And if you've never heard her karaoke, you should check that out, too.
Let's not.
No.
Okay.
We can't find any tape. It's some good tape. She is some good karaoke. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I know it's early, and you look fabulous, as always. She even let me use her mirror.